Welcome to Bassmaster Radio, presented by Phoenix Boats, the show for fishermen by fishermen. Today's show is brought to you by Enigma Fishing. Cast, catch, repeat. Visit Anderson, South Carolina, home of beautiful Lake Hartwell. Phoenix Boats, experience the difference. And by the Bass Anglers Sportsman Society. Now, here's lifetime BASS member Thom Abraham.
And welcome back, Phoenix Boats Bassmaster Radio. And now a chance to catch up with a guy. He's had a heck of a week. I mean, you know, we obviously we're talking to him before the tournament. He's out there fishing at the St. John's at the AFCO Bassmaster Elite at the St. John's River. And depending on when you're listening to this, he may or may not still be on the water, but it's been a heck of a week for him. He finished third in the Rookie of the Year standings. He won at Eufaula. He finished 11th in the Angler of the Year standings and had a heck of a year in his first year on the Bassmaster Elite Tour. He is, of course, Buddy Gross. Buddy, welcome back to the show. How are you, man?
Good, man. Thank you for having me. How you been?
Been fantastic. Rough week going into this St. John's tournament for you. Had some engine problems and had to get shipped a new boat, so you're running around in a non-wrap boat. You're not doing one of those things like where you don't want anyone to know where all your honey holes are. That's not what you're doing here, right?
No, I mean, I would love to be able to think that far ahead, but at this point, I'm going to tell you, I'm the guy who likes some stability, and this wasn't stability this week. I've had to do a lot of moving and jabbing and making it work. We are back on the water, and we're going to make a go of it. We've had a lot less practice than the other guys, so we're going to have to just do a little bit of winging it this time, and I don't like it, but we're going to have to try it and make it work.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about how the season went. Obviously, extremely consistent for you last year, gotten off to a start at 11th place finish at Palatka, and then the win at Eufaula. Coming that early in the season for you, and then there was the gap, but coming that early in the season for you, did that give you a lot of confidence and comfort that, yeah, you know, I've got the blue trophy under my belt and, you know, kind of change the way you fish the rest of the year or not?
Absolutely. It gave me the confidence to know I was doing the right thing in the right place and making good decisions. And, you know, it's all about confidence out here on the water. If you're making good decisions, you can carry it through the tournaments. And all year, I was pleased with all my finishes except one, and just kind of dropped the ball on it. But overall, last year was incredible. I'm really glad to be at Bassmaster.
Yeah. And you have been in the past, of course, you are sponsored by Fish Lake Chickamauga, and you have been a ATM machine at Chick. But this was a different time of year when you guys went there in the fall. You finished 36th. It seemed like all the guys that had great success in the past on Chick kind of struggled with this one. Just talk about that and how difficult that lake can be that time of year.
It was it was. I knew it was going to be tough. I knew what I felt like it would take to win, and what I thought would win was going to be a top water deal, flipping, frogging, that kind of thing, and it wound up to be the winning deal. I just never found the right fish. I had a bunch of fish that didn't commit, so I was close. I know the very next week I fished a local tournament, actually on the next Saturday and Sunday, which was a classic deal, and first day I had 26 pounds, so we were close. I mean, it was just a week earlier too for me, but you know, man, it's been so good to me. I did a good job winning that one.
I don't understand how these guys let you fish these local tournaments because, look, I know I'm not going to say what waters, but I know you've been banned from a few lakes for beating these guys' brains in a little bit. You know, at what point in time did they say nobody in this tournament?
It happens more often than I want it to. When you love fishing like I do, and you just want to go home and hang out with your buddies, and they tell you can, it hurts your feelings pretty bad. But that particular tournament is the oldest running tournament on the lake, and they've never said no, and I fish them often. So it was CBA is what it was, and that's more hammers. They all smile when they see me come and want to take my money.
Yeah, Buddy Gross with us here, talking a little bit about his season last year as things get started with this upcoming season. And a relatively quick turnaround. Of course, it's going to be a busy time for you. You got to get the boat straightened away. But in a couple of weeks, heading up to Knoxville, where the Bassmaster Classic was a couple of years ago. Great fans up there, Tennessee River all the way at the other end. Talk to me about the way it will go for you when you get out of Palatka get the new rig. You know, it's at least it's kind of on the way. Your home is on the way to Knoxville. What is it going to look like for you for the next couple of weeks before you get up there?
Well, I got to get home and get this other boat fixed, and that's going to be priority. But then I'm just going to start changing tackle around. I know I'm going to need my fur panties for that when it's going to be cold up there. I got to find my long handles and get ready for a total different climate change and a total different stage of fishing. But it's going to be a great tournament. The Tennessee River can show out at any minute. But it's going to be a cold tournament. There's a lot of rain coming, so I don't know. It's going to be I'm watching the weather. I've only fished that lake once in my life, so it's going to be new to me again, but I think with it being the Tennessee River, we'll figure out how to make it work.
You know, it's interesting. Whenever I talk to guys, people think that anybody is from that region. You're in Georgia, but you're just over the border from Chattanooga there, and they just think that everybody is fished up there a lot. But you talk to even other guys, Tennessee guys, Brandon Lester, some of the other guys, and people think, you know, just because it's in the state of Tennessee, that's not a place that we fish a lot. And it is that kind of a deal up there, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of an even playing field for a lot of people because it's really not some place that even guys like David Mullins and some of those guys that live up there in that neck of the woods don't necessarily fish out of that spot in Knoxville very, very often.
Yeah, there's a lot of places in Tennessee to go catch fish, so you don't have to go to some that's not as desirable. But that lake is a great fishery. It has big fish in it. It has two lakes that come together at the dam down there. So you got Tellico that stays really clean and got giant smallmouth in it, and you got Loudon that's more of a stained compound, and it's got a lot of largemouth with mixed in smallmouth. So a man can fish his strengths there. It's just going to be finding the right ones for multiple days is going to be the deal.
I prefer a little bit clearer water. So, you know, I've fished tournaments up there, and I kind of stay in Tellico a little bit more than Loudon. But talk about you. I mean, are you a guy that looks for the stained water as much as possible, or do you think anybody will be in Tellico, or is this all going to be in Loudon?
Well, Tellico's a run. I mean, it's going to take 45 minutes to get to the dam roughly, or maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
But then you got to turn and go up the lake. So putting in all that Knoxville eliminates a little bit of the time you're going to have there. So I'm going to try to fish lower parts of Tellico and the lower parts of Loudon and anything in between. But I don't see me turning the corner and running way up in Tellico, which may be a good thing. But I'm going to try to stay, you know, in a little bit of stain, but not too dirty if I can.
Yeah, Buddy Gross with us here. All right, let's talk a little bit about something you've got coming up with Bass University. You guys got online classes that you'll be one of the seminar speakers coming up February 16th. People can go to bassu.tv and sign up for this thing, $49.99. It'll be you, Gerald Swindle, and Harvey Horn. Goodness gracious almighty. It's a good thing this is online because you want to talk about three rednecks getting together and talking some fishing. I mean, this ought to be fun, even if people aren't fishermen, just to listen to you guys talk about it.
Yeah, it's going to be funny. We're going to all be settled up there, and I don't know who's going to be the craziest one, but I think Swindle will win that one. So, no, we're having a good time. It's my first opportunity to do that with them guys, and I'm looking forward to it.
You and Harvey Horn are like brothers from the same mother, I think, a little bit. You know, but you know, they look like a wrestling tag team or something like that. If you guys get together, what is going to be your topic? What are you? I understand you're going to be talking some electronics and swim baits and things like that.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking mostly about my setup this year and why I'm running all three brands. And the other one's going to be swim baits, and I'm just going to talk about the ones that I've had very good success with on the tournament trail and just show some what ways I rig it and show the ins and outs of why I use what I use on my electronics. I think it's going to be very informative, and I think everybody will get a good deal out of it.
It's amazing the number of guys that are running all three brands of electronics this go around. I mean, it is, you know, there's a number of guys that are doing that, and it's kind of fascinating. Is this more of a trial run for you, or is this something you see you doing in the future?
No, we've always kind of done it in secretiveness. You know, but there's always been things that led us to want to do what we're doing. This, you know, and let me just tell you this: it was a very expensive move for me. I have no help on electronics this year other than Sonar Pros jumped in there and give me a little bit of discounts. But other than that, I bought my electronics. So I'm doing this because I think it's the advantage. I'm not doing this for anybody's sponsorship dollars. This is all about what I think it takes to get out here and make a good living now. So, but when you buy all of those and you're fishing for a living, if you win one tournament or something, I'm
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Eufaula, being able to see those brush piles and so on and see what the activity was in there, I mean, that you can tie a lot of your win at Eufaula directly to the electronics.
Absolutely. My whole career has been based off electronics for the most part. I stay off the bank. That may change. I think so many people is going off the bank that, one of these days we're going to have to look at the bank again because it's going to be, well, a good example. John Cox has bait me the last few years on Chickamauga. Yeah. And he's fishing banks and trees and stuff like that, and I'm offshore with everybody else. I got 30 people to contend with while he's up there getting everything fresh every day. It makes a big difference. And I'm just not – I know it's going in that direction. It takes me a year to be behind, and then I'll finally say, well, I got to go. So I know it's coming. I'm already talking about it, but I'm not going there myself yet, but I am looking at going in that direction.
Well, it has, though, changed quite a bit. I fish Guntersville quite a bit, and, the whole ledge thing, it used to be you get out there in the ledges and you just pound away at them and so on, and I don't know. I mean, the fish get conditioned to it. They've kind of scattered more, and it's almost like, I know the grass has changed there, but it's almost like it's happened there as well. It's not so much where, everybody is parked up on the same humps and ledges and shell beds and things like that. In Guntersville in the summertime, those fish have scattered.
Yeah, it's a very small window that they really congregate on any of that stuff on any of the Tennessee River anymore. So that very small window, you'll just destroy it for a week or so, and then as soon as everybody figures it out and they start getting beat on every day,
yeah.
COVID's changed everything. There's more people on the lake, so these fish aren't getting a break, so they're having to move around.
And you get Pickwick as well this year, and a little bit earlier than originally was scheduled. But you got to be excited about Pickwick in late March.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never fished at that time of year, and ironically, again, that's another Tennessee River that I'd only been to twice.
Yeah.
I've got one FOW tour win there, and I got a Costa second behind Jack Wheeler, so that's the only 2 times I've been there. So I'm really looking forward to this time of year because I think the fish will be fresher and less pressure, but I think there's going to be some big weights at that tournament.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Buddy Gross has been our guest. Buddy, we appreciate you. Good luck getting the boat fixed. We'll be looking forward to you in the Bass U seminar. That ought to be pretty cool as well. And we just wish you the best of luck this season. Remember, winners come into the Rapala Winners Circle here on the show. So hopefully we'll be talking to you again like we were after Eufaula last year.
Might get talked to me a couple of times. It'll be great.
There you go. There you go, buddy. All right, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Buddy Gross doing a tremendous job. Great guy, too. Love that guy.